Hey, this is Dawn over at Note Queen Capital Funding. A lot of you probably already know, and if you don't, it's something you should probably be aware of. Here's an example, an email that I got from Bill Mencaro from the Paper Source Online, and I highly recommend kind of tap into this resource. The subject line is free teleseminar tomorrow, which is Tuesday the 19th. Stop the Fed. Apparently, there's a big deal with the whole Dodd-Frank or Frank-Dodd Act that we need to sort of be aware of, and we're hoping that we can get seller financing excluded for the most part from the SAFE Act and these other regulatory things happening in the financing realm. As you can see from right here, there's a call that you may want to tap into. If you have questions, that would be a great time to ask them and kind of get a consensus of what people in the note business and seller financing realms are talking about and thinking about. It starts 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. The call-in is 712-451-6000 with an access code of 903-809#. This is a good article for you to read. This is the papersourceonline.com, and it says, Red Alert, seller mortgages may be effectively outlawed. You must act now. And it would be good for us to do, each of us to do a little bit of reading and researching and to at least make some sort of comment. They're accepting comments until July 22nd, which I believe is Friday. Oh, actually, this is Creative Real Estate Online, so creonline.com. Usually if there's an issue going on, I like to go search the forum over here at creonline.com and just see what people are saying. There's a couple of good responses. I mean, Reality Check, this is by Bill Bronchick, who's real popular for his teachings on trust and things. His thing is like, hey, nothing's going to be outlawed. We simply means we need to qualify people for your seller carry loan. Point is like, hey, there's going to be some workarounds, but to me it seems like if we don't at least get some sort of provision for doing at least a certain amount of seller carry on our properties per year, that it's going to be increasingly difficult, and that the workarounds may or may not be as good for the consumer ultimately, which is what usually happens with overregulation of things. Also, there's a link over here to this is the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System, federalreserve.gov, news events. This is a press release dated 4/19/2011. And you can kind of see a little bit of a summary here and then links to other places. So I'm taking this Federal Register notice. There's the PDF version if you want to download it to your computer. The HTML, if you press this, it takes you over here. And this is a whole lot of fun. If you could see over here, look how long this thing is. See how teeny that is? I read through about a third of this, and I didn't get all the way through. But, anymore, when there's something going on, I try to read as much as I can myself. It's a bit overwhelming. That's why I'm looking forward to being on that call tomorrow night, because at least we can kind of bat around ideas with people who are fairly educated in the industry and long-time veterans. Also, what you can see here right in the beginning is here are the various places and ways that you can submit comments, and please do some sort of a comment, whether you're a seller, whether you're an agent, whether you're a buyer, whether you're a note buyer. There's a lot of implications, and I really believe that this is a massive overstep in many regards of the federal government, but hey, what's new these days? Whatever comment is legitimate and authentic for you, please make it. But seriously, I think seller financing needs to be excluded in great measure, that there should at least be some provisions for sellers to at least do a handful of deals without these qualifications applying to them. Obviously, sellers are providing terms. They're not providing financing. They're not lending money. They're offering terms. It's kind of a different thing, and I can understand where they're coming from. We don't want to be predatory towards people, but come on, this is like pretty ridiculous and could greatly impact the viability and the marketability of any notes that are created and their value on the secondary markets. And teleseminar on this issue with Rick Tom. And this Tuesday, July 19th, 6 p.m. Pacific, I'm going to be on the call. I encourage you to be on the call and to email them in advance any questions that you have so we can all have a fairly intelligent discussion on this thing. So anyway, thanks for your time. Please take action. Preserve your rights as an American. Okay. It's just crazy. It makes me crazy because it's like the Fed and the whole banking industry and the government, all those people, the ones that created the mess that we're in, the whole subprime market, they allowed all this to happen, and they're telling us how to underwrite our loans so that they make sense. I mean, when you're a seller and you're lending your terms, it's like it's your bottom line. It's your retirement that matters. So you're not going to be, it'd be the rare person that would be predatory. Usually they just want a fair price for their house and a decent retirement investment for themselves. I mean, the banksters and all these other guys and the Fed, they're the ones that created these products that they didn't care how they performed because they bundled them up and sold them off to someone else. But when you're a seller, you do care profoundly because it impacts your own bottom line. So this is just gonna be bad. If they include seller financing and all these things, it's going to really impact the market in a negative way, and the real estate market really doesn't need any more trouble these days. So anyway, thanks for taking action. Thanks for your time, and you have a good night. Bye-bye.